okay, I kind of get the idea. But the writers gave me that gift of a scene in the pizza parlor. And that was such a great scene because the idea of having like the most powerful guy in the world loving junk food, to me was fantastic. And that, in a way, was the key to my character. Like, I didn't have to go, oh, does he think this about that, or does he have that opinion? I just went, no, here's a guy that doesn't have to prove himself, but he has human qualities, like he likes food, even though he's way too powerful to even try and fight with anybody. And Jensen was very helpful too, because we were on set together and we did that huge pizza scene, and we just acted it, you know. And so we as an actor, I think it's more my job to play what's written by the writers and to bring that to life. If I was a lead character like Jensen or Jared, they sort of have to say, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea if my character went in this direction or started to do that? And that keeps them alive. But for me, I'm there to serve the writers. That's the way I think of it, or there to serve the show. Yeah.
I mean, you've done so much. Like you said, I've seen shows and I'm like, hey, that's Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, Dad.
I saw you in a Western, and you've done so much theater.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer theater or actual TV?
I don't know that I prefer one or the other. They're both very different, and you get a different thing from both, right? For theater, what I love is like being here with you guys. When you say something, you get an immediate response. You know, you laugh if I say something, or you listen, and there's an interaction. I love that. I love the live feeling, and I think that's why rock musicians always want to go back on the road, right? They just don't want to just do albums. They want to have that interaction with their fans. So I love that about theater. But there is something about film and TV that I really like, and that's the technical aspects of it. Like the idea that the way that the lighting guy does the scene affects my performance. So the lighting guy would say, Julian, if you just stand over there, there's a little bit of light in your eye and it's glinting on your eye and it'll look really good. I think that's amazing that you can work like that. Like, I like the technical side of it. And, you know, the same with wardrobe, the same, whereas as an actor, it's you up there, you doing it, you're in control, so I like that. And then the other side of it is that I just like being in a team when I do film and television. So I'm lucky that I do a bit of both, and when I do one, I go, oh, yeah, I like that, and then when I do the other one, I like that. So it's kind of not a very good answer, but there you go. Yes, gentleman in the red shirt.
What's the hardest part about being an actor, and what's the best part about being an actor?
The hardest part is insecurity. You never know when your next job's coming. You know, honestly, like here I am. I'm an established, mature actor. I've been doing it for 40 years. I don't honestly know when my next job's coming. I mean, I'm reasonably confident that I'll get stuff. And I'm lucky, and again, I've got a long-term relationship with my wife, and we kind of understand. She has a regular income, and we make it work, right? So, but it's not easy. But then it's not easy for anybody that's self-employed. Everybody that's self-employed has the same issues. Feast or famine, right? You know, you get 3 jobs all together, and you have to say no to 2 jobs, and you know what I mean? And there's a long... So I find that very difficult. There's part of me that would love to be regular job, like a regular on a show, or just a regular in a theater company or something. But at the same time, I like dropping around and doing lots of different things. So that's the hardest side of it. The best side is, well, I love what I do. I love performing, and I think honestly, performing for me is, it allows me to do stuff and say stuff that I wouldn't normally. I'm actually a shy person. I'm introverted. I'm the middle of 3 brothers. I always think my brothers are the personalities, and I'm the one that kind of, I'm a bit of this and a bit of that, and so when I get given a script to go and be evil or funny or something, I enjoy that. I enjoy the privilege of giving me a voice for a minute. Do you know what I mean? And then I feel that I try and make that my personal voice within what I'm supposed to do. So with Death, even though I'm playing somebody that's supposed to be sinister, I like to bring humor to the character, because I figure, you know what, I think he should. I think he should have some warmth to him, and so I feel like I try to bring that to the character, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Have you thought about directing or anything else?
Yeah, you know, I direct in theater, which I understand more, but it goes back to that other thing I said about the technical side of film and television. I'm not really a technical person. You ask my daughter when it comes to tweeting and stuff like that, like, you know, Dad, really, do you have to do that? Like, I keep saying things are going wrong, you know. I'm technophobic a bit. And I think to be a really good director, of course you have to have instincts and vision, but you do have to have a certain technical competence. And I don't know that I have that with lenses and cameras and lights and the way that you create a film, the technical side of it. I understand the acting and stuff and the pictures, but that's why I don't go into it more. Yeah, lady over there?
I read somewhere that you worked with Grotowski in Poland.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So for those of you folks that don't know, so I grew up, I just went to theatre school in England in the 70s. And our great, you know, every generation has its heroes, right? Whether it's actors or directors. Well, our great thing in England was a Polish director, which he was behind the Iron Curtain at the time, right? And his name was Julian Richards. And he wrote a book called Towards a Poor Theatre. And in that book, there were photographs of the actors doing these extraordinary things. Like they would be, they were like athletes. They were trained like athletes. They would jump from high ledges, they would do cartwheels, they would single-handedly express entire emotions. They were almost like dancers, shock troops and actors all rolled into one. They were extraordinary. So a lot of British companies studied this guy. He was considered to be the great visionary of my generation. And I was lucky enough to join a theatre company that actually was invited, that we did shows in his style, and we went to Toronto to show our stuff, and Grotowski was there in a university in Toronto. He invited theatres from all over the world to demonstrate what his stuff was about, and then he invited us to Poland to do a performance, to do a series of performances in his laboratorium in Wrocław, Poland. Which was a big deal because this was in 1979, 1980, when there was a lot of unrest in Poland, and as I say, it was before the Iron Curtain disappeared. So it was a big deal, but it was a very formative part of my life, and as a result, you'll notice that although my style is, I think of myself as a physical actor. So I feel that I don't act from here upwards, you know, sort of, oh darling, you know, this is my character, I'm going to do my character. You know, like some people do. I try to embody, like I try to keep myself fit, and I look at myself portraying characters as a whole physicality. The best example I can think of is Buster Keaton. He's one of my heroes. I think he's one of the great actors, but he's like, well, he comes from vaudeville, he's a physical actor, broke every bone in his body, and manages to transmit emotion without even moving his face. He does it with his whole body, and I think that's an amazing thing. Yeah?
Before Walter's name was released as being the 12th Doctor, there was a fan feed where fans threw out names of people,
Yeah.
and your name was suggested. It got a lot of positive comments.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did, and I was very flattered. I sort of wanted to add my name to the list. Secretly, you know. Yes, I think he should. It was very flattering, and I can see why, and I can see that actually I have a lot of similar traits to the current Doctor, you know, in the same looks and same kind of quirkiness. I mean, it would have been an amazing thing. Not that I ever expected it to happen, But as a kid, I grew up watching it. I remember the very first episode of Doctor Who, sitting at my grandmother's on a Saturday afternoon, watching it on the in black and white television, being terrified, and thinking of watching William Hartnell. And so it's funny. Yeah, it's gone full circle. But just to be thought of in those terms, yeah, it's very flattering. So, but no more than that. Gentleman in the hat.
What are the chances we'll ever see a miniseries or perhaps a movie focused on Otto from Kingdom Hospital?
Oh, great. So he's talking about Stephen King's Kingdom Hospital, which I had great fun doing. I guess we shot it, it's about 2003, about 10 years old, a bit more, 12 years old, something like that. So it's a mini-series written by Stephen King, and I play Otto, the half-blind security guard with these glasses, huge glasses that magnified my eyes so that you could see my eyes. They're like this big. It was a really fun shoot. The problem with it was we shot it like an HBO series, right? It was kind of shot, and it's complicated, like a Stephen King novel, like lots of threads, about 5 different stories that intersected in a haunted hospital. And it was kind of, the unfortunate thing, it was on ABC, and so commercials would keep coming in. And I think that people found it a bit confusing. You know, they just get involved in one part of the story, bang, commercial. And then it would have to pick up again, and I think it lost its rhythm a bit, and so it got cancelled after 1 season. But I think it would be very funny to bring him back as a specific character, because he's a lot of fun to play. I had these glasses, and I was literally blind. When I put them on, they had these thick lenses, and so the props guy came up with this great idea. He said, okay, so you've got these glasses here like this that magnify everything. I'm going to give you corrective contact lenses at the same time. So as it is, I hate putting contact lenses in anyway, but they got them in. So I had these contact lenses. Then I had these other glasses on top. And I turned around and said, oh my God, I'm going to vomit. Because I was doing like this all the time. I couldn't figure it out at all. So they said, okay, we'll take them off. So we took those off.